Hey guys, I wanted to give you some helpful tips on how to start feeling a little better right now. So we know when we go through breakups, it's usually a long time before we start feeling all the way over it. But there are some things you can do to kind of move that along and start to get some relief in the moment. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is working out. I know that working out might be the least thing you want to do right now as you're feeling really bad. But when we work out, we release a lot of feel-good chemicals in our brain. We release dopamine, serotonin, chemicals that are responsible for us feeling happy, getting away from anxiety. And also when you work out, you're using a certain part of your brain. You're using the front of your brain. And anxiety exists in a completely different realm of your brain. So when you are having anxiety, you start working out, your brain has to switch into the workout mode. So it ends up not using the part of your brain that's reserved for feeling bad, for feeling anxiety, stuff like that. So working out is great. There's a lot of good, easy, like 15-minute workout videos on YouTube at all different levels that I would recommend doing. And the more you work out, the more these chemicals in your brain stabilize. So you can really achieve a happier life from just working up a sweat. It doesn't have to be a super intense workout. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is gratitude. So I was never really a person who was very positive. I always felt positive people were kind of faking it. But studies have shown that people who started to practice gratitude became 25% happier. Don't ask me how they measured that, but there's lots and lots of scientific studies on people who spend time trying to be grateful. It's that whole thing where people say, count your blessings. And that just sounds like an old saying people said, but it's a saying for a reason. The more grateful you are, it rewires your brain to start thinking of things as positives instead of automatically thinking about what could go wrong. So when you practice gratitude, you're rewiring your brain into making you happier. A good way to start gratitude is to, if you journal or if you pray or whatever, start your day off with gratitude. Make your coffee or you drink your water or whatever, and every day list 3 things that you're grateful for. I try to list 5, sometimes 10, but at least just list 3. And over time of doing this, you'll start to see how wonderful your life really is. And it's easy to do this a couple times a day. You can do this in the morning and at night. The last thing I want to tell you guys, and this really helped me, and it's something I did, is when I was trying to not call my ex, and I was trying to get over him, I made a list in my phone for every time I couldn't fall asleep and I wanted to text him, I wanted to call him. I made a list in my notes about all the things that I didn't like about him. Because when you're going through a breakup, your brain tricks you into thinking, oh my God, this was the best person, I lost them, I have to fix this quickly. But that's really the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is give somebody space and let them start freaking out and come back to you. They're not gonna do that if you don't give them space. So every time you want to call your ex, I want you to make a list of all the things that didn't work, and I want you to be really, really specific and really nitpicky. You can say things like, I didn't like how he, spit his toothpaste and got toothpaste on the mirror. I don't like how he was selfish and bad. I don't like how she was dirty. I don't like how she didn't take care of her feet. I don't like how she would act like a jerk when she was drunk with her friends. Whatever it is, be really nitpicky. This should be a list of like 100 things. Because the more you think about it, they weren't the real perfect person for you. And when you review that list, or even things they said to you in fights, write it down on the list, things that hurt you, things they did, and you read through those things when you're about to call them, you realize what you are holding out for. Because if you call them, nothing's gonna change. They're gonna keep breaking up with you, they're gonna keep acting in the same fashion. You have to bring the power dynamic back in your favor. And you can't do that by texting or calling them. If you want change from them and you want them to come back, You have to know exactly what you want, and you have to hold out. You have to be strong. So make that list, those things that they said, those things that hurt you, those things they do that you don't really like. And every time it's late at night and you're thinking about calling them, look at that list and remember what you're doing this for. And also remember, you're not going to get them back by calling them or texting them. And if you have anything of theirs out, hide it. Throw it in the closet so you don't see it, so you're not reminded of them. Don't have them on Facebook. Don't have them on Instagram. Don't block their profiles, but make it so you hide their profiles so you don't see anything from them. And stick to your list and keep adding to it. Practice these things every day, and I promise you, they will help in the moment. And long term, they are going to help. I love you guys so much, and I know that you're going through a hard time, but I'm completely here with you, and